Good day everyone, Behrus here, worker with Toronto Real Estate Board. YouTube video for you in detail dealing with April 2026. What was in the news was that the prices declined. Nothing more, nothing less. Prices decline. I know that's important to almost everybody. But underneath, there's a structural shift that I want to bring your attention to it by giving you as more detail about the market stats as possible, as it is my job to gain your trust through what I know, through the lenses that I experienced over the past few months, at least to give you perspective. After 12 years of being in business, it is important for you to understand that somebody is on your side. Somebody is trying to tell you what is important in the market. I understand you want to sell high, you want to buy low. It is not happening. At the same time, there are interesting news in the interest rate level, in the economy level. There are a lot of few things that are dependent on you, on your finances, on your employment, on everything. That's why I'm preparing this video for you in detail about what's happening in real estate in Toronto GTA. This is very important. The average prices have been reported by 5% lower than last year. This month of April, $1,050,000. Wow, that's great news, but it's not. The reality is that listings have declined by close to 9%. The benchmark prices have declined by 6.6%. What does that tell you? Let me explain to you what is happening right now. In the more affordable areas outside of core GTA, Durham region on east and west in Halton region, these are the most expanded areas in the GTA during the COVID time. Now we are seeing more of a correction, more of a choices for buyers, but that's not the reality for buyers all across the board, because so many buyers in Oakville, in Richmond Hill, in Vaughan, they are still not seeing that much change in the news. Why is that? Because those areas that are our family-oriented areas, more of established area for employment, for transit, for everything, these are different. At the same time, why don't we see semis decline in value as greater as the townhomes or condos are? Because those are looked at as a bridge. These are the market sentiment. People, buyers, they're looking at it as shifts into the market in general, but no, they are not seeing that in reality. Condo prices in the month have declined by 6% year-over-year basis. But is it for the same every condo? No. Core downtown, smaller condos. Uptown, North York, smaller condos. City Place, Liberty Village, smaller condos. They are not seeing any sign of recovery. As a matter of fact, they are seeing more and more inventory. But why is it that there is no absorption in these areas? Because these areas have always been investor-heavy oriented areas, haven't been updated the condos for a long time, because investors are used to putting out their properties for lease and wait until the market recovers and turn back. Now the market shift and everyone looks for money, looks for cashing out. There's no buyers for this. Buyers are more selective in those areas. Buyers are more looking into good layouts, lower maintenance fees, good access. They are not seeing that in those areas. The psychology of the market is very important. The wait and see era, the era that buyers were looking for lower interest rates, higher number of a higher level of inventory, is now becoming a dream. It's not reality anymore. Today, the same buyers are starting to recognize something very important. The supply is no longer expanding aggressively. And historically, in Toronto GTA, inventory shifts often matters more than the headlines, numbers. Inventory is more important because the supply is not there. The good supply is scarce. The supply is not there either. Now, we are talking about 2 tails, 3 tails. What is it that's important here? Of course, affordability is very important, which is not going to change. Whether in a matter of geopolitical changes that we are seeing in the whole global geopolitics is going to change that affordability. The interest rate is not going to change. At the same time, the level of inventory has dropped. What is changing right now is that the market sentiment is not changing that much. The supply and demand is changing. The economy is not changing. So one factor that's affected all of us during the peak time is now showing itself more and more, supply and demand. There is not enough supply coming into the market anymore. Let's see what the demand looks in the next few while. Toronto unemployment rate remained elevated at 8.1%. The economic growth remained weak, and the buyer's confidence is still heavily tied to stability in borrowing cost and broader economy. So if the hope exists that the borrowing cost doesn't go higher than that, and the hope exists that I'm not going to lose my employment, what's happening is that this market is going to appreciate. The selective market rewarded quality, well-priced homes and turnkey properties, transit-oriented neighborhoods, and limited supply of family housing that are tending to recover faster, as we have noticed in the month of April. In the next 3 to 12 months, the biggest variable may not actually be the interest rates anymore. It might be the listings, number of listings. If sellers continue to hold back, not list, while the demand slowly creeps up, month of inventory could compress meaningfully into late summer and fall. Look, if that happens, detached homes, family-oriented freehold segments could stabilize faster. Condos may take a little bit longer, especially smaller investor-heavy areas. But the important thing is this: the market structure is changing. It showed us in April, it showed us in part of March, and the broad-based deterioration across every segment simultaneously is becoming fragmented, meaning that it's becoming localized. Toronto being pioneer, it's becoming selective. Price ranges are very important. And Toronto real estate, usually early signs that shows for the recovery is that transition phase that's already begun. Not every neighborhood will recover equally, but every housing type that will move together with those factors that I told you are historically shown to go along with each other. Semis go much faster, townhomes lag, but they still come along, and eventually everybody's looking for a detached home in Toronto GTA. Inventory level is very important, and if you are looking for something meaningful to make an impact in your family finances, in your future of your family, reach out to me. Comment April report so I take a note, call you back, sit down with you to do a proper analysis of where you are, where you want to be. Make that happen for you. Thank you very much. See you on the next video.